The copy of Breakout Recharged featured in today's review is provided courtesy of Atari. My first console growing up was my parents' Atari 2600. While the likes of Missile Command and Pac-Man kept me thoroughly entertained, I found myself often gravitating towards Breakout, a simplistic game by today's standards where you hit a ball into a wall to break bricks. While the concept seems simple, the increasing ball speed and the need to line up your paddle in specific ways to hit the diminishing bricks provided ample challenge. As time went on, I moved on to Super Breakout, which introduced a number of large improvements, and finally some clone versions on an old Macintosh. Now, almost 50 years after the original arcade release, Breakout is back and busting onto every modern platform with Breakout Recharged. Believe it or not, this game featuring a ball and paddle is actually the story of a prison inmate attempting to escape their incarceration. Using a literal ball and chain, you will strike at the walls until your freedom is achieved. Breakout Recharged takes the classic Breakout formula and brings it to the modern age. You are still tasked with using your paddle to send a ball flying into bricks in order to destroy them. This time around, however, the bricks aren't necessarily going to be in a neat line with predefined rows. Instead, as you dive into the game's arcade mode, you will find that the game starts you off with plenty of space available around your targets of destruction. As you proceed to annihilate your blocky opponents, more will begin to spawn in from the top. If you manage to clear everything on screen, a whole new set will spawn in at once instead of gradually sliding down. As you play, the walls of bricks will descend upon you, similar in fashion to Super Breakout's progressive mode. If they manage to make it to the bottom, it is game over. This style of play is a nice upgrade. It keeps the familiar feel of what came before, but with a new unique twist that justifies its existence. But of course, there is more to discuss as the basic Breakout formula gets some new additions in the form of power-ups and block types. While your basic block is still going to be the one you see most often, there is a new armored block type that will begin to appear as you continue to clear out walls. These blocks require multiple hits to clear and can initially keep you from clearing out the easier blocks behind them. Alongside the armored blocks can typically be found a number of bomb blocks. These do exactly what it sounds like: blow stuff up. Unfortunately, they don't always destroy armored blocks in one go, but they are still great for clearing out large areas of bricks. To provide an added challenge are the addition of trap blocks. Breaking a trap block will produce a projectile that travels down to the bottom of the screen. If you get hit, it is game over or a lost life, depending on if you're playing Recharged or Classic mode. Later trap blocks are active turrets that will fire until you destroy them. There have been numerous times where I've fallen victim to these traps because I have sent my ball along a similar trajectory to their shots. Speaking of challenges, if the standard arcade mode is feeling a little too easy for your tastes, diving into the challenge mode can provide you with some hard times at higher levels. Now about those power-ups. For the most part, they are a ton of fun and welcome addition to the Breakout gameplay I've come to love over the years. Firing swarms of missiles, bullets, or having an exploding ball can let you quickly clear out an entire section of walls. Other power-ups, like being able to see the trajectory of a ball or manipulate the speed of the ball, were less fun in practice than they should have been. My only real complaint with the power-up system, though, is that it introduces a ton of distractions to the screen that has, on many occasions, resulted in death because I lose focus on the ball. Each power-up has a set usage time, so they aren't a permanent addition to your arsenal, so keeping the power-up blocks around until you need them is ideal. But for the ultimate mayhem, get the rapid-fire or missile power-up alongside the 3-ball power-up. Good times. If desired, you can play with them all turned completely off. As for controls, the analog stick on my Xbox Series X controller felt perfectly responsive in lining up my paddle and provides a far better playing experience compared to the old Atari 5200 stick, though not as accurate as the old school dial controllers. But for the most part, you should have no trouble getting your paddle into position to line up your perfect shots. It is also worth mentioning that you can enjoy everything that Breakout Recharged has to offer with a friend in couch co-op. You each get to take a side of the screen and 2 balls begin in play, though you only have to keep one alive to keep the game going. So whether it is in arcade or challenge modes, no one has to be left out. Breakout Recharged uses a simple visual style which works well for the most part. You can see the classic inspiration at play, but it's easy to miss the old rainbow-colored bricks. The visual noise that comes from power-up use can again result in unintentional confusion on where your ball is. But having the color change as you progress and interesting backgrounds make for an overall pleasing visual experience. Audio. I am a fan of the sound work in Breakout Recharged. Each sound effect sounds nice in its delivery without anything coming across as harsh or overbearing. Then to wrap it all together is the bumping soundtrack. With an endless arcade mode and 50 challenges available in both single player and co-op, Breakout Recharged can keep you entertained for hours. While overall I have been loving my time with Breakout Recharged, there are a few things that I want to call out. First is the power-ups becoming a distraction, as previously mentioned. There have been too many times a good run has ended because a missile crossed paths with the ball and took my eyes with it. Next is the ball physics. It doesn't always behave like you think it should, and a nicely planned bounce lineup instead results with the ball shooting straight down. A mild inconvenience, but still worth noting. At times I have also had the ball miss a hit on the edge of my paddle. Another inconvenience, but one I find a bit more annoying. Breakout Recharged is a fantastic modernization of an old-school classic. I have been loving seeing how far I can push my score, and the 50 challenges have been an interesting offset to the main game. Having my kids jump in to play has also been a treat since it was around their age that I first discovered the original classic. For fans of old-school arcade games or any fans of this particular genre, Breakout Recharged is well worth a look. And that is Breakout Recharged. Big thank you again to Atari for sending this one out my way to show off for all of you today in this review. But what do you all think? Were you a fan of the Breakout genre? Did you play Breakout, Arkanoid, one of the many various clones out there to date? And are you interested in Breakout Recharged? Let me know in the comments below. But now, just a big thank you to each and every one of you for making it to the end of today's review. If you could all just do me a couple of huge favors here at the end of the video. If you haven't already, hit that like or dislike button, just depending on how much you like this review. And that sub button and notification bell so you can see when new content goes live on the channel. Tons of stuff coming your way, and I would love to have you all along for the ride. If you'd like to further help support the channel, you can also check out that join button here on YouTube or the Patreon link in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. A little goes a long way to keeping this place going and bringing content just like this to all of you. Big shout out to all of our current champions. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for supporting us. But until next time, my wonderful internet peeps, you all stay awesome, keep on gaming, and we'll see you back next video.